What's up, y'all? Welcome to No Cap Convo'S. This is the first episode. Thank you for tuning in. Today, me and my brother Keith are going to talk about some different topics. Something about life, something about relationships, and even something about God. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe if you're new. And in other words, let's get this thing started.
Get people motivated, God. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. This is No Cap Entertainment. Let's get it.
No Cap Convo'S, y'all. We're in the building right now.
No cap, no cap.
Give me a second to get my questions right. I got 4 questions for today, man.
All right. We go deep into it. Let's get it.
All right, boom. Keys. So look, I'm gonna need you to bring out your philosophy, bring out your philosophical side on this, okay?
Of course.
So, but my first question today, for both of us, we can both answer it. Do you think today people are actually living or just existing?
Tough question for the first one.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, I feel like that in this generation we are existing instead of living, because when we exist, we're just going by the motions. We're not allowing ourselves to experience the life that God truly put out there for us to do. We just go by day to day because of the systems that are incorporated in our life, from schooling, from education, from just anything is put in our way to show us that there's only one way to success. And there's, going to getting a job and working till you retire. And that's existing. That's not taking advantage of your life. That's not doing what you want, when you want, whenever you want. I wish there was more of us living and taking control of our lives, because I know so many adults, I know so many even that just go with the flow. They don't say it.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say that one more time. Like that last little piece you said.
Yeah. I was saying that I know so many older adults and younger adults that just are going with the flow. Build, job, not allowing themselves to experience certain things, not allowing themselves to be in a better position because they feel like they're just so stuck and constructed and cap a ceiling over them, when in reality it's so much more, man. It's so much more to life, and it's so much more. And as long as you put God in the forefront of it, man, your life can go beyond what our generation and what our society tells us it can be, which is a job. So yeah, man,
that's real. I think I'm gonna agree with you on this one, bro. I definitely feel like there's like a few, to the exception, maybe like the 10%, the 5%, maybe even the 1% of people who actually are like living, you know what I'm saying, who are actually like, who actually can see what's going on. But there's a lot of us, especially in our age range, right? I'm 22, you're 20, right? Yeah, 21 on 21. Especially then, but hey, there's some good gum. I ain't gonna lie. But in our age range right now, we are in a cycle. This is like, college age range. We didn't graduate high school, so now we're in the real world. Either you in college, or you working a job, or you probably trying to go to the military or something. Between those little pathways, it got like 3 pathways: military, college, work a job, whatever. We're in that age range, so it's easy for us to just go with the flow. Okay, hey, let's go get drunk. Okay, hey, let's go smoke weed. Okay, hey, let's go party. Okay, let's go chase hoes. Shark. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's easy to just go with the flow and just really just go with whatever the media is pushing. Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, they are like, our best friends. They take up enormous hours sometimes of our day. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who are still living with the impression that, hey man, life, is a game. Hey, life, I can do what I want. I don't have to move with no urgency. I can hang out. I still got years to grow up and, do stuff. And right now, I just want to enjoy life. I don't want to be so serious. But life is pretty serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I feel like that we are in such a notion where it has been our society has normalized partying, it's normalized women, it's normalized sexual activities, it's normalized to become normal, but in reality that's sin, man. And the issue that we have with not waking up is because we really don't, our generation as a whole, or even let's just speak about our parents, they never face their problems. It's really the biggest problem with it. They don't face those emotions, those times when they're not feeling well, and to substitute those feelings, they go to smoking, they go to drinking. And it's just not okay, because eventually, no matter how how much you turn away from that brick wall to run away with smoking, to run away with drinking, to run away with whatever different females, once you turn back around, that same obstacle is just still standing there. It ain't gone nowhere. And before you leave this earth, you have to face it. It doesn't matter. You're either gonna face it here or you're gonna face it in the afterlife. But I just wish that our generation woke up a lot more and take control of their life, because there's so many things out here that if you put your mind to it and you stay consistent, you stay disciplined, you can accomplish whatever you want with no limitations. Stop listening to people, stop listening to what's going on. And I realized that what made me stop caring about a lot of people's opinions is that thousands and thousands of years ago, why would we care about others' opinions when they crucified a perfect man? Jesus was perfect. No, nothing wrong with him. And even the regular people crucified him. So it's when you think of it like that, why do we care? Why do we care about other people's opinions? And what I've realized also is that no one really cares about you. Let's be realistic. And what I mean is, I'm not saying that no one loves you and no one cares, but what I'm saying is everybody is dealing with their own thing. Not everybody is focused on just your life. You know what I'm saying? So why listen to those opinions? Why listen to them people? But yeah, man, that's just with that, man, that's it.
I want to touch on a sub question dealing with like mentalness, right? And I'm gonna double back on that little piece that you just said too. People, you feel like people don't care. I get that, because I feel like everybody has their own point of view when it comes to life. You know what I'm saying? They wake up, they got stuff they gotta deal with first. The next person probably not on their mindset unless they see them. I guess it's kind of like an out of mind thing. So I can semi agree with that little last bit you said. My next question, I want to tie it into like mental health. I feel like in the last maybe 5-6 years, mental health has played a big role. How I often see people when they talk about mental health, some people use it as a crutch. They only describe it like when mental health is brought up, it's like, oh yeah, I struggle with, and okay, I have problems with, and it's like so on and so on. They don't really look at it as like mental health from the standpoint of like mental upkeep or like like mental maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Or like a mental detox. Things that you can do to help better your overall mental health. So, my next question is to you, and this is directed kind of towards like men. Why do you think it's so hard for people, especially men, to talk about what they're actually going through mentally?
That's deep.
Hey man, we getting deep on the No Cap Convo, you feel me? We trying to, you feel me? We gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it.
I can only speak for myself. Because I feel like the reason why I never spoke so much about my feelings was because I felt like I was being judged. I feel like I was being misunderstood. So, and I truly felt like no one cared. Truly, honestly. So I feel like in our generation, men, we have so much pressure that's built upon us. If it's societal pressure, if it's relationship pressure, if it's goal pressure, we have so much because we are at this standard that we are supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to be providers, procreating, and stuff like that, and just having to deal with every problem and solution without any help. And sometimes it becomes overwhelming, and it becomes like who can I talk to? Because if I go talk to this person, I may feel judged. If I talk to this person, I may look at as weak. In reality, it's the complete opposite. And I had to learn that within myself to lean into the people that were around me to talk about my feelings, because if I didn't talk about my feelings, they were going to eat me up inside and take control of me. And it was going to break me down. It did break me down. So I feel like that's a big reason why mental health isn't, really talked when it comes to men. They don't want to feel judged or feel like that if we talk to our woman about it, that we're less of a man, or that it might be brought up in the future, stuff like that, man. That's the reason why I feel like men just struggle with mental health, and incorporating it out there. When our generation now, I can't too much speak on the older generation, but I know even from our parents, back then in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, mental health wasn't a thing that was advocated for. It was like, it didn't matter what I went through. It was like, no one cares what you went through, get up and go to work. That was the mental mindset back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So now in our generation, we take mental health so more serious. And now that our parents that were doing the 70s, 80s, 90s, men and women, they be like, what? Mental health? You feel bad? What? Nobody care, because that's what was instilled in them when they was younger. So it just, it's just a turnaround, man. It's just something we need to pick back up on and continue to keep advocating for, and allowing people to open up. Because if not, we will continue to have, suicide rates. We will continue to have things that are, affecting people.
The consequences of the unspoken man. I think it's a vulnerability thing. As men, we are protectors, we are leaders, we are providers. We're like the lions of the pride. You know what I'm saying? We protect the village from any incoming danger. Make sure everybody feels safe. But man, we're not robots. There's a time in every man's life where that job is done. At a certain part of the day, that task is done, and you are with yourself. And then that's when your mind is dealing with those thoughts that you push to the side because you have to go in that certain mode and mentality in that certain time frame.
Yo, go on, take that shit off. Take it out.
That shit good as fuck, bro.
It's smacking, bro.
Yeah, you can hear that shit smacking?
Yeah.
It's some good ass gum, bro.
We edit that, but continue that.
It's some good ass. Hey, man, extra. Sign a motherfucking deal with me, man. I buy all these bitches every damn day. I swear to God.
Bro, stop cursing, bro.
Oh yeah, man, I forgot. I'm bush. I mean, I told you the same shit. Come on, let's run it.
Edit that out.
Anyway, there's a part in the day where that job ends, and it's like, I think it's a vulnerability thing. We don't it's hard being vulnerable when you have to be so hard and upkeep and being the man's man. But when you have to come to a point of vulnerability, it's like, okay, I'm exposing myself, or in a way, in a light that could possibly, put me in a compromisable position. Because if I share this information, this person has the option to either use this against me, or listen to me and actually become a friend. You know what I'm saying? But it's like in that moment, we have no control over what happens next. Once we're in that vulnerable state, it's either just going in there and just seeing whatever happens. It's just like, it's just putting yourself out there. A lot of men just don't do it, and if we do it, we probably do it with the guys. And which is probably one of the best things that you can have is a team and a circle. Some men just don't. But yeah, man, honestly, mental health is a big thing, and it's a real thing. And us as men, I think we have to do a better job at voicing how we feel, because men, we do have feelings as well. You know what I'm saying? We're not robots. I'll say this: having a woman that you can trust to be vulnerable with, that is a jewel. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a treasure. That's a hidden treasure.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because most people they'll just use that against you. Oh, you this, you that. Oh, you feel like you weak. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, okay, now you got a wall up, so now you don't want to put that to nobody else, so you just keep it to yourself. And that's probably the worst thing that we could do as men, is just stay to ourselves, because then it's just bound to blow when you just bottling everything up. I feel like we have to do better at voicing how we feel the moment that we feel it, even if it puts us in a vulnerable state. At the end of the day, the truth is the truth. And if you're not feeling a certain way, then you're not feeling a certain way. No matter how anyone looks at you, we have to be able to live in our truth and accept the fact that people are going to have opinions. But at the end of the day, like you said, bro, man, the world killed a perfect man. You know what I'm saying? So, what they gonna do to a nigga like me? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, I'm just being for real though. Like, let's just be real. Like, man, what is the expectation in life? Who are we setting these standards for? Who are we? Because at the end of the day, man, everybody's on the same level. We all human beings. Everybody falls short of the glory. You know what I'm saying?
We supposed to set expectations to God.
Right.
That's what's supposed to happen. But we don't. We say that we hear this a lot, and it's a lot. Like, I know a lot of Christians that are, back and forth and contradictory. But I hear them say, "I love you, God, and I surrender myself." But I tell you out my mouth I love you, but then my actions don't show it. So it's understanding that our expectations are supposed to be to God, and that's the issue. Our expectations are lowered to social media. It's lowered to what we see. It's lowered to what we intake. It's not set at whatever God wants me to do in my life.
Right.
What He's trying to guide me. And that's the issue that we have in our society, in our generation. And if we tap more into the Bible, we tap more into God's creation, because we are made in God's likely image. It says that. But we are willing to sell our souls for the betterment of whatever could happen in that moment. Like, for instance, like I always, speak about it, and I'll just quote that Mark 8:36. But what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world but loses his whole soul? So it's understanding that is what our generation shows. That's what it glamorizes. We will sell our soul for 30 seconds of fame, a million of fame.
You know what I'm saying? Lust.
Instead of putting it in a way where it's like, okay, I'm doing this for God and His glory. I want to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Not by doing little, tasks, but surrendering myself and saying, God, I surrender to knowledge. I surrender to you, because you are the way, the truth, and the life. And that's the issue that we don't have. We surrender to other things. We surrender to alcohol, drugs, lustfulness, sex, women, but we don't surrender to God and say, God, take control of the wheel. And that's our issue, man. That's just a pick up on expectation. It should be up here, but we down here.
Now, my next question, right? As a Christian, as a believer, as a Christian man in 2025, can you believe in God but still question Him sometimes?
No. And the reason why I say that is because God's thought process is so complacent. It's so much more that we as human beings can't understand or grasp, even the littlest bit of knowledge. God is not human. That's what we keep forgetting. We keep amounting God to like us when He's not like us. He's a godly being, not a human being, and that's what separates the difference. So we can't even think that. So when we sit there as us, as humans, or let's just say Christians, like you said, Christians, and we sit here and we question God and we say, God, why is this happening to me? Why am I not getting what is going on? Why am I not obtaining what I prayed for? But the issue is that we're looking at it wrong. It's all about how you look at a perspective. And instead of looking at it as, God, why is this happening to me? And praying on my knees, is what is God trying to teach me? What is God trying to teach me? That's not questioning God. So when we question God, why? Like, for instance, I use the book of Job. Book of Job is a very good example of this. And it shows how no matter what happens, no matter what knocks you down, no matter what? Job, if people don't understand, if people don't know the book of Job, everything was taken away from Job. Job didn't do anything wrong. He loved God. He cared for God. He prayed to God every single day. Job didn't do anything, but God allowed Satan to come in and take everything away from Job. His family, his friends, his money, his riches, his land. And if I'm not mistaken, and it says there was a moment in the book where Job became vulnerable. And he got overwhelmed and he asked God, why me? Why do this to me?
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, God said, thou art questioning me? And that right there, is in its own shows the level of difference God is. Because you question me. You question my creations, everything I own, everything I run. You got the nerves to question me. And right there, that just gave me an insight on it's so much things that you don't even know why God does what he does. But just know that he does it for a reason, and eventually you get what he gives you what you deserve. You know?
For real. I like that perspective. I look at it in a different light. I say yes, you can question God, right? Because it gets to a point in every person's life, or I say every Christian, to where I feel like, or are you gonna take everything that the preacher says on Sunday or Tuesday or whatever day you go to church, and that's it? You know what I'm saying? It's like you're gonna just take that and just, okay, I went to church today. Or are you gonna just open up your Bible, if you don't have one, go buy one and read it for yourself? You know what I'm saying? To get your own understanding of it, rather than just giving what the preacher says. What the preacher's saying is great, what the preacher's saying is good, but that can't be your only source of learning God's word. It should be a daily practice. And even that's sometimes it's hard. Cause I don't even, that green Bible right there, I'm just not going to pick that thing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hard in itself. But I feel like there's a level of openness and vulnerability that I feel like we can go to God and access. You know what I'm saying? Like, in our deepest, darkest areas of our life that we don't tell nobody. Stuff I don't even tell you. Stuff I don't even tell my dad. Stuff I don't even share to my family. Stuff I only know about myself.
Right. Yep.
Those are things that I share with God. And sometimes we ain't gotta have a lot of conversations. Well, I have a lot of conversations with God. And they all ain't been pretty. I've been mad at God. I done cried out to God. I'd have been on my, look, I feel like if I'm up here, brought to my lowest and like crying out, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's like we can go through things like you said, we'll never understand the whole concept of God. God is working on things. Everything is wrote down. God has already worked on whatever we're going through next week. You know what I'm saying? Right. We just gotta live it and get to that day and get to that chapter. But as we go through things, I feel like, why can't we question God? Why can't we be open? If it's genuinely how we feeling. Like, hey, God, why did my mother have to die when I was 18? Why can't I have a mom like everyone else has a mom? This past Mother's Day, I went to church. Everybody got to celebrate their mom. All the kids passed out flowers. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's just love. It's just peace. It's just joy going on with the mothers. I'm in the back row, trying to disassociate, because I have to sit through this whole service knowing that my mom is gone. I'll never see her again. It's stuff like that we go through in life, to where it's like, I can't say nothing about it. Dog, that hurts. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like God understands us where we are. And even if you do question him, he'll still, show us.
Yeah. Asking him a question and questioning God is two completely different things. You can ask a question and insight of things, But questioning him like, why is this happening, this, that, and that? What I take in mind of that, of what you just said, was my question. I got a counter question to you. My counter question to you is, if you ask God or question God why, right? Do you think that you prepare for the answer?
If I'm asking it, yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is, hold on. That's from a human level. The complacency. Remember, he's so complacent. How you think that the answer gonna be dumbed down? No, it's a complacent answer. Do you think that you'll be able to understand that and be okay with that, whatever he tells you? I don't think so. I don't think, even with that, like with my grandma passing away, right? I don't think if I would have asked God beforehand, like, God, why did you do this? And he told me, I don't think I'll be able to live with that.
I don't think it's like a beforehand thing. I think it's like while you going through it. It's like, okay, I'm feeling this pain. God, why am I feeling this pain? Or like, why do I have to feel this pain? That's pretty much how it be. You know what I'm saying? Job didn't know what was gonna happen. While Job was going through all this stuff, Job lost his wife, Job lost his friends, Job lost his skin was like torn up. You know what I'm saying? If I was Job, nigga, I'd ask God questions too. God, what the hell going on? I'd have been faithful to you. I ain't did nothing wrong. Why am I going through all this crap? Like, what is, you know what I'm saying? I did the same thing. I would have been started asking questions. So I feel like, you can look at it from like two different points of views, but at the same time, it's still asking God. You know what I'm saying? It's still just being vulnerable, just being able to just be like, hey man, what is going on? I'm hurting right now. How can you heal me? Can you help me? You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta go through this? And even if you do tell me, or maybe you won't tell me, maybe you put it in like some type of different message, or you give it whatever way he decides to communicate it back to you. I think it's always like to deal with it day by day, right? Instead of looking at it like from, okay, next week I gotta do this, and then next week after that I gotta do this, and then I'm probably gonna feel bad. You know what I'm saying? It's like a day by thing when you're walking with faith with God. It really is. You know what I'm saying? It forces you to be like, okay, God, I asked this question about why I gotta go through this, but I don't know. But hey, I'm gonna continue to walk by faith and trust that you're gonna get me to the other side. You know, that's how I look at it.
I agree.
But yeah, that was pretty deep, huh?
Yeah,
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
No Kept Convo'S getting deep, man. Getting very deep. This is my last question for the episode, for this first one, man. We talked about God, we talked about life, we talked about mental health. So the last question is going to be talking about relationships. This is a kind of easy question, but let's just jump right into it. Relationships. Is love alone enough to keep a relationship going long term?
No.
Simple. Simple.
No. And the reason why I say that is love is a key component. 100%. See, relationships are made up of different components. It's like a car. If a part of the engine not working, the car not gonna run. If the wheels ain't on it, the car ain't driving. It's all a component add up to the success of the vehicle. Same thing with the success of the relationship. So love by itself may fuel the relationship for longevity, but it's communication, it's understanding, it's being able to feel like you have someone that's there to push you and support you in whatever you're doing. Someone that's willing to sacrifice things for you, willing to compromise on situations for the betterment of a relationship. If that's career, financial, whatever. And in those things, so love by itself just doesn't push a relationship to longevity. A lot of other components, a lot of other things that factor in. And it takes a real mature couple, I would say, to sit down and talk about it. To sit down and actually dive deep, because honestly, to us it may be, easy, but in reality that's a difficult conversation to have. A difficult conversation on like what's going on, why I feel this way, what I do like, what I don't like about you. Those are difficult conversations that needs to be had. It doesn't mean I don't like the person or I don't care about them. It's just we gotta be honest because we're human beings. We're not gonna always like everything about our spouses or our partners. So it's just understanding that aspect and knowing there's just a lot more for the success of especially a long term relationship.
Man, I don't know what I can add to that, bro. You pretty much said it all with that one, bro. I don't know what I can add, but I definitely agree with you, man. Love is definitely not the only cookie on the cake. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a key component because you can be in a relationship and still have no love. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you can have a baby mama and you hate her, but y'all gotta stay together for the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can still have a relationship, but the love be gone. You can be in love, but y'all be not the right, people for each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, at that moment of life, or just in general. It's so many, like you said, so many different components that go into a relationship that people don't really see when you first jump it into one. Or at least while you're young. Maybe as we, grow up and we'll try to, start siphoning and, like, choosing people based off this and that, and just, hey, you cute, you fine as hell. Hey, baby, that ass fat. I want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
Facebook, huh?
Man, yeah. You feel me? It got to get beat down. But it's a lot of stuff you just go off of just the basics, and you don't really know that person. You don't really dive into, okay, what makes you you, and do I actually like you, or do I just like how you look, or do I just like how you look with me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people just choose a girl just when they go out. She look fine, she look great on my arm, but behind closed doors, we like enemies. You know what I'm saying? It's like so many things that go into a relationship, and like communication, bro. Like, man, communication is a big thing. Like you said, it's like if you don't talk about stuff, it's like it's the truth. This is how you make me feel, or this is what I think about you. Nah, you don't just go in just like, hey, just bashing, hey, you suck, you do this and you do that. I wish you do better. No, but at the same time, it's still a conversation that has to be had. In order to, if you want to be in this relationship, relationships require maintenance. It requires meetings. It requires counsel. Not with outside sources, with the main two people. It takes two to tango. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you put other people in your relationship, you get to, then you get in outside sources, outside opinions. And it's like, okay, that may help, but at the end of the day, the problem is between you and that other person. You know what I'm saying? It's just a conversation that y'all need to have on your own. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Love is not the only thing that goes into relationships, man. You gotta have a whole lot of other stuff to make that crap work. But that is all my questions, man, for today, man. I only have 4 questions. I know it's kind of short, but yeah, man. You got anything else you want to say to the world?
Don't give up. Keep trying. And keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. The thing that differentiates the difference from successful people and people that aren't successful is that no matter how many times they get hit, they get up and they keep going. I know in your life, or I know it's people out here in their life that feels down, they feel low, they feel like they can't. They feel like every time you take a step forward, God is making them take 4 back, but that's not it. So continue to just believe in yourself and not allow the outside noise, the social media, the sin, the devil to creep into your thoughts at night. And allow yourself to reinforce your mind with allowing God to be at the forefront, and then studying and understanding how to control your mind. Because your mind has so much key imagination and can accomplish so much, whatever you put your mind to. That's why we hear the statement, whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish it. That's why, because that's really true. So just don't give up. Don't allow whatever your circumstance is to cap you. Don't allow the ceiling to stop you from going through it, around it, over it, but as long as you get around it. And man, that's it. That's just, continue to be the best version of yourselves despite whatever y'all going through, and don't allow the situation to take control of you. You take control of your situation. I've learned over time that a difference between successful people and people that aren't successful is that successful people are the only individuals that will admit that they're in the position they're in because of themselves. Unsuccessful people won't admit that, and that's a conversation you have to have within yourself of saying that I am in this position because of myself, and I can only get out of this position because of myself. But those are difficult conversations that we don't have with ourselves. But
Real.
peace, love, positivity. Keep going.
Thank y'all for watching. If you like the video, leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. We'll see you on the next one. No Cap Convo's. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.